Left-hand side of your screen, now at the top, you see winds pick up a bounce house full of kids, and then it just flies away. Now, this happened as a water spout came ashore. Tough to see the water spout itself, but it's easy to see the power left behind. In this cell phone video, you can see the wind rip that bounce house up from its moorings. You had 3 children were carried away into the sky and then just suddenly dropped. They were taken to a nearby hospital and treated for minor injuries. So this guy's thinking this morning about how summer safety and what we can do to protect our kids. Lance Madigan with the Utah County Health Department is here to kind of sift through some of these things here with us. Lance, you watch that video with the bounce house. It's tough to imagine, what this must have been like for those parents.
It's just one of those freaky accidents that just come out of nowhere, kind of. I mean, you do everything you can to protect your kids and make sure they're safe, and then you see something like this and we just kind of scratch our heads sometimes.
Is there any way to prevent something like that from happening?
Those types of things, they're commercially driven. There's regulations around them. The biggest thing you want to do is make sure that it's a well-run facility. We see a lot more of the jump gyms and those types of things here in Utah. Want to make sure that they're a well-run facility, maintained, and that they're just not letting too many kids into the facility or the trampoline area at the same time.
Any kind of important things to look for, like say on their website or something like that? It says, okay, this is how I know they're a well-run facility.
Websites are a little deceiving because it's real easy to take pictures and not have those sorts of things updated. You really just kind of need to do a visual look around. Are the mats maintained? Is equipment put away? Is it cleaned up? Those are signs of a facility that they're watching over, and of course supervision, that they have people on staff watching what's going on.
So really just the eye test is good there.
That's really one of the best things you can do.
Now, you mentioned that this is the likelihood of getting injured for these kids is a lot greater for other things. We're talking car accidents, cars overheating, poisoning, you name it, car crashes. What do you want to help us out here to kind of make sure we can keep our kids safe?
Well, these are things that the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention cite every year as really the top ways that children get injured. Vehicle accidents are always a high one, and it's important to make sure kids are properly restrained, properly buckled up, and in the right seats. And if you have questions of that, or you're not sure how your seat's installed, you can check with your local health department or fire department, and they'll help you out with that.
So you guys covered that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
What about things like, we're seeing on the list here, we're talking about unintentional burns there at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, that's another one. Kids like to experiment, and sometimes their curiosity outpaces their experience level. So you gotta, the age-old store matches, be careful with those types of things. But you also gotta remember that sometimes kids will experiment with other chemicals and things. So even
chemical burns.
Yes, those types of things. We have a lot of what we refer to as look-alike chemicals, things that may look like Kool-Aid or...
This happened to me as a kid. I thought something I thought was Sprite in the fridge turned out to be some type of rubbing alcohol, and I had chemical poisoning as like a 4-year-old kid. I had no idea.
That's a very common thing, and it's that's something that, like, the Poison Control Center is very helpful with. If you have a concern, you can give them a call, and they can kind of walk you through things as well. But just properly store things, make sure that things that are not child-friendly are not child-accessible.
There you go. And if people want more information about how to handle their kids and make sure they're safe, where do they go for more information?
You can check our website, utahcountyhealth.org. Safekids.org is a great organization that has outlines for keeping kids safe.
And as you can see on our website, we'll have a link to what Lance is talking about at goodforutah.com. Lance Madigan here with the Utah County Health Department. Appreciate you being here with us this morning.
No problem. Appreciate it.
Curtis, you got to have great weather too here and make sure kids are safe with that.